Today, I want to share a message about one of life's greatest teachers, mistakes. Every single one of us has faced moments of failure, regret, or disappointment. Times when our choices led to outcomes we didn't intend or desire, but rather than being a cause for despair. These experiences are often the very moments that shape us the most profoundly, and with God's guidance, our mistakes can become stepping stones to wisdom, growth, and transformation. Mistakes are an inevitable part of the human experience. They remind us of our limitations, our imperfections, and our vulnerability. When we stumble, we often feel unworthy or ashamed. We may be tempted to hide our errors or dwell in self-condemnation. But it is in these very moments of weakness that God's presence is most powerful, extending a hand of grace and urging us to see mistakes not as failures, but as opportunities for learning and growth. God's love is unconditional, and His guidance is always available to us, even when we've gone astray. He doesn't see our mistakes as the end of the story, but as pivotal points for new beginnings. Through His grace, we can approach our shortcomings not with fear or guilt, but with courage and hope. He calls us to reflect on our actions, acknowledge our errors, and take responsibility, but never to lose sight of the potential for transformation that lies within every misstep. One of the most beautiful aspects of our relationship with God is that He doesn't expect us to be perfect. He knows that we are flawed and that we will sometimes fail. Yet, He stands by us, ready to forgive, to heal, and to teach. In the Bible, we see countless examples of people who made mistakes, some of them monumental. Take Peter, for example, who denied knowing Jesus 3 times out of fear. Yet, Jesus did not cast him away. Instead, He forgave Peter, reinstated him, and empowered him to become a great leader. Through this experience, Peter learned humility, courage, and unwavering faith. His mistake, coupled with God's grace, led to profound personal growth and strength. This is the essence of learning from mistakes with God's guidance. Recognizing that each error is an invitation to deeper wisdom, greater compassion, and a stronger character. When we bring our brokenness to God, He doesn't just patch us up. He reshapes us, making us better than we were before. Our mistakes can become testimonies of His power to renew and redeem. So, how do we embrace this process? First, we must approach our mistakes with honesty and humility. Denying or hiding our errors only prolongs the learning process. When we admit our faults and ask God for help, we open ourselves to His teaching. Second, we must seek His wisdom through prayer, reflection, and the study of His Word. God's guidance often comes as a gentle nudge, an inner conviction, or a fresh perspective that helps us see our situation in a new light. Finally, we must trust in His grace. God's forgiveness is not a license to be careless, but a reminder that we are loved and valued even when we fall short. It gives us the freedom to take risks, to try new things, and, yes, to make mistakes, knowing that God is always there to catch us, to pick us up, and to set us on the right path again. Mistakes are not the end of our story, but the beginning of a new chapter. With God's guidance, every misstep can lead to a greater understanding of ourselves, a deeper relationship with Him, and a stronger sense of purpose. So, let us face our mistakes with courage, learn from them with humility, and trust in God's endless grace to transform them into blessings that shape us into the people we were meant to be. Mistakes are an inevitable part of the human experience. From the time we learn to walk and speak as children to navigating the complexities of adulthood, errors and missteps are constant companions along our journey. While we often view mistakes negatively, associating them with failure, embarrassment, or regret, they actually hold immense value as some of life's greatest teachers. When embraced with an open mind and a willingness to learn, mistakes can serve as powerful tools for personal growth, self-improvement, and wisdom. Mistakes play a fundamental role in the learning process. They provide immediate feedback, highlighting areas where our understanding or execution may have been lacking. Whether it's solving a mathematical equation incorrectly, making a poor decision at work, or misunderstanding a friend's feelings. Mistakes reveal gaps in our knowledge, skills, or judgment. By identifying these gaps, we gain insight into what we need to change, improve, or approach differently in the future. This feedback loop of trial and error is essential not only for academic or professional growth, but also for personal development. Mistakes force us to confront our limitations and question our assumptions, pushing us out of our comfort zones and encouraging critical thinking. Each mistake is an opportunity to pause, reflect, and reassess our approach, ultimately helping us develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. One of the most significant lessons mistakes teach us is resilience. The experience of failing or making a mistake can be discouraging, but overcoming these setbacks fosters mental and emotional strength. When we face and recover from errors, we learn to handle disappointment, frustration, and self-doubt. We begin to see that failure is not something to fear, but a natural part of striving for success. This resilience builds character, teaching us perseverance, patience, and the courage to keep trying even when the path forward seems challenging. Moreover, mistakes cultivate humility. They remind us that we are not infallible and that we all have room for improvement. Embracing our mistakes with humility allows us to accept constructive criticism and learn from others. It fosters a growth mindset where the focus shifts from being perfect to making progress. This mindset not only enhances our ability to learn, but also enables us to approach life with a sense of openness and curiosity. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history have come from mistakes, from the discovery of penicillin to the invention of a microwave oven. Many innovations were the result of unexpected outcomes and unforeseen errors. Mistakes challenge the status quo, prompting us to think outside the box and explore alternative solutions. When we view mistakes as opportunities for creativity rather than roadblocks, we can turn setbacks into springboards for new ideas and approaches. The story of Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, is a well-known example of how mistakes can lead to success. Edison is said to have failed thousands of times before creating a functioning light bulb. When asked about his failures, he famously responded, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's perseverance and ability to view each failed attempt as a learning experience are testaments to the idea that mistakes are not final, but are stepping stones on the path to discovery and innovation. Mistakes are not only important in academic and professional contexts, but are also crucial in personal relationships. Misunderstandings, miscommunications, or lapses in judgment can strain relationships with friends, family, or partners. However, acknowledging and learning from these mistakes can lead to greater empathy, understanding, and connection. When we apologize sincerely and take steps to change our behavior, we demonstrate respect and care for the other person's feelings. These efforts can strengthen relationships, building trust and mutual appreciation. Mistakes in relationships teach us how to navigate the complexities of human interactions. They show us the importance of listening, being patient, and considering different perspectives. Through the process of making and rectifying mistakes, we learn valuable skills like conflict resolution, compromise, and forgiveness, qualities that are essential for maintaining healthy and lasting relationships. To fully benefit from the lessons mistakes offer, we must adopt a positive and constructive attitude toward them. This involves seeing mistakes not as reflections of our inadequacies, but as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. It requires us to take responsibility for our actions, analyze what went wrong, and apply the insights gained to future situations. When we do this, mistakes become a source of wisdom rather than regret. Furthermore, we must cultivate a culture that views mistakes as a natural and valuable part of learning. In environments where mistakes are stigmatized or punished, people may become afraid to take risks or try new things, stifling creativity and growth. By encouraging a mindset that embraces mistakes, we create a supportive atmosphere where individuals feel empowered to explore, experiment, and learn without the fear of judgment. Mistakes, though often uncomfortable and challenging, are among life's greatest teachers. They offer unique insights into our strengths and weaknesses, build resilience and character, and inspire creativity and innovation. In personal relationships, mistakes provide opportunities for growth, forgiveness, and deeper understanding. Embracing mistakes with humility, openness, and a willingness to learn allows us to turn setbacks into stepping stones, transforming failures into valuable lessons that shape us into wiser, more capable individuals. Ultimately, mistakes are not the end of the road, but the beginning of a new journey. Each misstep brings with it the possibility of learning something new, discovering an untapped potential, or finding a better path forward. If we can approach our mistakes with this mindset, we will find that every error is a chance to grow, adapt, and move closer to our true potential. The idea of a growth mindset, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, revolves around the belief that abilities, intelligence, and skills can be developed over time through dedication, learning, and perseverance. It contrasts sharply with a fixed mindset, where individuals see their abilities as static and unchangeable. Central to the growth mindset philosophy is the understanding that mistakes are not signs of failure or inadequacy, but rather essential steps on the path to learning and growth. By embracing mistakes with a growth mindset, individuals unlock their potential, develop resilience, and achieve personal and professional success. A growth mindset is an attitude or belief system that views challenges and setbacks as opportunities for improvement. People with a growth mindset believe that talent and intelligence are just starting points that can be cultivated through effort, strategies, and input from others. They see failure as a valuable teacher and view mistakes as natural parts of the learning process. This perspective encourages curiosity, experimentation, and risk-taking, as individuals are not paralyzed by the fear of being wrong. Instead, they actively seek out challenges, understanding that every mistake carries the potential to deepen their understanding, refine their skills, and ultimately lead them to success. In this context, mistakes become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks, and every misstep becomes a chance to build a stronger foundation for future achievement. Mistakes are powerful catalysts for developing a growth mindset because they provide concrete evidence of what works and what doesn't. When we make mistakes, our brains are forced to confront and process new information, which helps us rewire our thought patterns and problem-solving approaches. This process is critical for gaining insights, adopting new strategies, and expanding our understanding. For example, consider the process of learning a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument. A beginner might hit wrong notes, misread sheet music, or struggle to maintain rhythm. Each of these mistakes is not a sign that the learner lacks talent. Rather, they highlight areas that need more practice and attention. With each correction, the brain forms new neural connections, reinforcing better techniques and improving the learner's abilities. Without these mistakes, there would be no foundation upon which to build competence and mastery. One of the main barriers to developing a growth mindset is the fear of making mistakes. Many people, influenced by a fixed mindset, see mistakes as failures or proof of their limitations. This mindset can lead to avoidance behaviors, where individuals shy away from challenges or opportunities that might expose their weaknesses. The result is a stagnation of growth and missed opportunities for development. However, when individuals shift their perspective and begin to view mistakes as learning opportunities, they free themselves from this fear. They start to understand that mistakes are not a reflection of their worth or potential, but simply part of the learning process. This shift is empowering because it fosters resilience, determination, and a willingness to take on challenges that may initially seem daunting. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, reframe them as experiments. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Or what does this mistake tell me about my current approach? This shifts the focus from self-judgment to self-improvement. Take the time to analyze what led to a mistake without being overly critical. Identify specific areas where you went wrong and consider what steps you can take to avoid similar errors in the future. This helps transform negative experiences into practical lessons. Asking for feedback from others can provide valuable insights that we might overlook ourselves. Honest feedback helps us see our blind spots and areas that need improvement, ultimately accelerating our growth. Purposefully engage in activities that push you out of your comfort zone. By seeking challenges, you are more likely to make mistakes, but also more likely to learn and grow from them. Focus on the effort and process rather than the result. Celebrate the fact that you tried something new or persisted through difficulty, regardless of the immediate outcome. This reinforces the value of persistence and learning over perfection. Be kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Understand that everyone makes them and that they are an inherent part of the journey to mastery. Self-compassion helps you maintain a positive attitude and keeps you motivated to keep learning. Embracing a growth mindset by learning from mistakes has far-reaching implications for both personal and professional development. Individuals who adopt this mindset are more likely to pursue lifelong learning, seek out new challenges, and remain motivated in the face of adversity. They develop resilience, a critical quality for overcoming setbacks and persevering toward long-term goals. In the workplace, a growth mindset can lead to greater innovation, creativity, and collaboration. Employees who see mistakes as learning opportunities are more willing to share ideas, take on new responsibilities, and contribute to team problem-solving. This mindset fosters a positive work culture where continuous improvement is valued over perfectionism, leading to higher employee engagement and productivity. In personal life, adopting a growth mindset enhances relationships and self-esteem. When individuals are less afraid of making mistakes, they communicate more openly, resolve conflicts more effectively, and approach personal goals with enthusiasm and optimism. This leads to healthier relationships, greater self-acceptance, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Mistakes are often seen as setbacks, but with the right perspective, they become invaluable lessons that guide us toward growth and development. A growth mindset transforms how we perceive and respond to mistakes, allowing us to view them as opportunities rather than failures. By embracing mistakes, analyzing them constructively, and applying the lessons they offer, we unlock our potential and open ourselves to a life of continuous learning and self-improvement. The journey to developing a growth mindset is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. When we learn to view our mistakes as teachers, we realize that every error is a chance to grow, adapt, and ultimately become the best version of ourselves. Life is a constant process of learning and growth. We navigate through different experiences, challenges, and relationships, each teaching us valuable lessons that shape who we are and guide us toward becoming better individuals. But beyond the accumulation of knowledge and skills, there is a deeper dimension of learning that comes from our spiritual journey, a journey that is enriched and guided by God. Through faith, reflection, and the divine wisdom of God, we gain insights that transcend worldly understanding, leading us to a more meaningful and purposeful life. The foundation of learning through God is rooted in the belief that He is the ultimate source of wisdom, love, and truth. From the moment we come into this world, God's presence and guidance are with us, whether we recognize it or not. He watches over us, shaping our paths and providing opportunities for growth, even in times of adversity. As we seek His guidance and open ourselves to His teachings, we begin to see life through a different lens, one that is colored by faith, hope, and grace. In the Bible, Proverbs 3 verses 5-6 encourages us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. This verse highlights the importance of placing our trust in God rather than solely relying on our own knowledge and judgment. It is an invitation to let God be our teacher, to learn from Him, and to allow His wisdom to illuminate our way. One of the most profound ways we learn through God is by experiencing life's challenges. When we encounter difficulties such as loss, disappointment, or failure, it is natural to feel overwhelmed or disheartened. Yet, these moments of hardship are often where God's lessons are the most powerful. Through prayer, reflection, and patience, we come to understand that trials are not meant to break us, but to build us. They are opportunities for spiritual growth. testing our faith, patience, and perseverance. In James 1 verses 2-4, it is written, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." This passage reveals that trials are instruments through which God refines us, helping us develop qualities like resilience, empathy, and humility. As we navigate through our difficulties with God's guidance, we gain a deeper appreciation for His grace and the strength that comes from placing our trust in Him. Another key aspect of learning through God is engaging with His Word and spending time in prayer. The Bible is often referred to as a manual for life, filled with timeless wisdom, stories of faith, and moral teachings that offer guidance for every situation we might face. Through studying Scripture, we gain insight into God's character, His promises, and His will for our lives. The teachings of Jesus, in particular, provide a model of love, compassion, forgiveness, and humility that we can aspire to in our own lives. Prayer, too, is a crucial element of learning through God. It is a form of communication that deepens our relationship with Him, allowing us to share our thoughts, fears, and desires, while also listening for His guidance. In prayer, we find comfort and clarity. We learn to discern His voice and understand His direction for our lives. When we approach prayer with a spirit of openness and trust, we allow God to shape our hearts and minds, leading us toward greater wisdom and understanding. But learning through God is not limited to personal reflection and Scripture study. It also happens through our interactions with others. Jesus taught that loving and serving others is central to living a life aligned with God's will. When we extend kindness, forgiveness, and compassion to those around us, we not only fulfill God's commandments, but also experience profound personal growth. Serving others teaches us to look beyond our own needs and to see the divine presence in every person we encounter. Relationships, whether with family, friends, or strangers, become channels through which God teaches us patience, empathy, and selflessness. They reveal our strengths and weaknesses, challenging us to grow in love and maturity. When we approach our relationships with a willingness to learn from others and to be an instrument of God's love, we gain a deeper understanding of what it means to be in community and to live according to God's purpose. One of the most significant lessons we learn through God is the importance of trusting in His plan for our lives. Often, we have our own desires, ambitions, and expectations for how our lives should unfold. Yet, life does not always go according to plan. We face setbacks, unexpected detours, and changes that leave us questioning our path. It is in these moments that we are called to surrender our will to God and trust that He is working all things for our good. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This verse reassures us that even when life seems uncertain or difficult, God's plans are always rooted in love and designed for our ultimate well-being. Learning to trust in His plan requires faith and patience, but it is through this trust that we find peace and direction. Life's learning through God is a continuous journey of faith, reflection, and growth. It is an exploration of His teachings, a surrendering to His guidance, and an embracing of the lessons that come through both joys and sorrows. By turning to God in prayer, engaging with His Word, and seeking His presence in all aspects of life, we unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and our purpose. With God as our teacher, every experience becomes an opportunity for growth. Every challenge becomes a lesson in faith, and every moment is filled with the potential to draw closer to Him. As we walk this path of learning through God, may we always remain open to His wisdom, trust in His plans, and be ever mindful of His unending grace and love. Through Him, we learn not just to navigate life, but to live it abundantly and purposefully, guided by the light of His truth.